This is how I went from zoo and wildlife biology to a full-time real estate agent and manager of one of the most successful independent brokerages in northern New Jersey. My story begins in 2016. I went off to college. I was 17 years old, went down to Virginia, did not expect all the crazy life changes that were going to happen. But I originally went to my university to run D1 track and field, which I walked on because I was shooting for the stars. I wanted to be a zoo and wildlife biologist. I wanted to travel the world, take care of animals, fight for their rights, all that stuff, which is still fun to this day. I slowly realized that my high school and whatever else, I was unprepared to handle the studying habits and the challenges and the workload of college level biology and trying to make it onto a D1 track and field team. That was just way too much for me to manage. Never was prepped, never was prepared. No one's fault. Maybe I'll blame my high school board of ed for that later. After the first semester, I ended up calling my coach, say, hey, I don't think this is for me. I was the slowest kid on the track team, so I had to call it quits at some point, and I felt like I needed a career change. I did go to a religious university, and growing up with a religious background, involved in the church and community, I decided to go and pursue a life of ministry. So I changed my major to pastoral leadership with a focus in biblical studies. And that's what I did for the remaining 4 years. But ever since I was young, I always had an interest in real estate. Grew up lower, working middle class, never owned anything, didn't have a fancy house, none of that. When we had friends and family that had either a very nice house or a lot of property or land, or whenever we drove past homes or farmland or whatever it was, I was always just so fascinated by how people came to own that, how much money does it cost, what does it look like on the inside, design. I remember in high school, in 7th and 8th grade, also being on like Pinterest and stuff and Tumblr, just fascinated on homes and design and architecture. So I always had that interest, but never thought about making it a career, anything like that. I always said the classic, oh, I want to invest and own property, blah, blah, blah. That's what everyone says. Didn't expect to become a realtor. 2020 comes around. That's when the world fell apart. Everything went to hell. That's also the year I graduated college. I planned on going into full-time ministry, getting plugged in with the church, but at that time, my church was restructuring, COVID happened, everything was just flipped upside down, so I never got a chance to really plug in, and so that kind of took a back burner. My aunt, who currently works at Addison Real Estate right now, just got her license. She was at another brokerage. She was in it for, I think, a year, and then she said, Isaiah, go get your license, market's hot, it's a good time. It's a lot of work and it's brutal. It could be very rewarding. And she also knew I had an interest in it anyway. I was like, okay, what the hell? Might as well, right? And I thought I would be a millionaire in real estate and it would be so easy. I could handle a bunch of transactions. This is how delusional I was. I thought, okay, I just charge $1,000 per transaction and I work with 50 clients in a year. I'll make 50K off the rip and it'll be so easy, but that's not how real estate works. I was delusional. I didn't even understand how a mortgage worked until I took my classes. So it took me twice to take the real estate exam. That thing is just the absolute worst. Joined Addison Real Estate because my aunt was there and it was obviously the best decision I ever made. And this is where the story kind of takes a different role than most realtors. At first I started in sales. I was getting broker provided leads. We were doing Zillow leads. I was doing Zillow leads at the time. I was having some success. I'm pretty organized and I just follow something. Whenever someone puts it in front of me, I'll just follow it. Once Kelly, my broker, said, do this, do this, do this, I just did that, and it was okay. And I was all right with the sales. I think I do have a good skill set of organizing my business, following playbooks, the structure, following up with clients, and just moving them through the pipeline. But I noticed it wasn't something that I wanted to do long term. I didn't have any goals for creating a team, starting a brokerage, or managing a satellite office necessary, or anything like that too involved. But I knew I wanted to stay in the real estate sphere. And after, I would say maybe a couple years in sales, trying to get the ball rolling there, I started having a conversation with Kelly, my broker, saying, I'm not really enjoying this. I don't really know what I want to do. Sometimes, I don't know, I just wasn't really enjoying the sales aspect. So we had a conversation. She's like, well, what do you think about more of a management onboarding role? Because she knows I'm pretty good with systems and tech and whatever it may be. And I was like, okay, what the hell? Might as well go ahead and shoot for it. I think that's where I've found my niche. I think I'm really good at managing our systems, teaching people how to manage our systems. I've gotten my hands dirty with sales. It's been good enough experience to help our new agents, brand new to the business, or struggling in like the 5 to 15 mark, even the 20 sales a year mark, to get them over and help really push them to the next level. And that's actually where I've really found my passion. I think a lot of people, when they join the real estate industry, they think I either have to be a salesperson, a realtor, investor, flipper, broker. But there's so much in the industry, and I'm happy I joined the management admin side, because now I get to see that there's so many different hats that someone can wear. What I really love is bringing those new agents over and pushing them to that next level, teaching them the systems that will actually make them go further than I've been or other people in their other office that they came from. And that's probably where I thrive the most. And unbeknownst to me, my real estate career has also been a content creator. So I don't know how I got bamboozled to do that one, but this is part of the journey. Might be a little different than Kelly's video where she talks about her life story. Is I'm in the middle of developing where I want to go and who I want to be in this industry or maybe another industry in the future. So I think that's kind of the unique take that I have here. I'm just kind of here for the ride, and I'm here to try my best and make Addison Real Estate the best brokerage that it can possibly be, and every single agent here. And my career and my choices and what I want to do are still developing, and anyone watching this video or any other videos is kind of watching that play out over time. It's gonna be cool. I can be doing content and managing now, or maybe we're taking over so many offices in North Jersey that I just start managing all of that. The goal is, no matter where I am in my real estate career, I want to make sure we're making the best agents in New Jersey, because that is our mission, and it will never change, because we care about quality, not quantity. That is just something that we are so committed to. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, my story is still unfolding. Maybe you'll get updates here and there as videos come through. Hopefully I don't get too many gray hairs along the journey, because I have gained more since joining real estate, the stress. But yes, please watch our video about Kelly and her life story. See you in the next one.